My name is Zoro. I hail from a small dojo in Shimotsuki village in the East Blue. Some call me the madman of the Straw Hat Pirates. Others call me the king of getting lost. But on this vast sea, my swords are swung for a single purpose: to become the world's greatest swordsman. However, the man I was back then was far too naive, believing that victory could be seized simply by gripping a sword. That all changed when I met the two people who would alter the course of my life: my master, Koshiro, and the man known as Hawkeye. I still vividly remember the immense weight of my first bamboo sword. At the dojo, there was a girl named Kuina. We dueled 2001 times, and 2001 times I was defeated. Her swordsmanship was leagues beyond mine. Beaten by her every single time, I burned with a desire to surpass her.
いつか必ず俺かお前が世界一の剣豪になるんだ。どっちがなるか競争だ。
Then one day, I received the news of Kuina's sudden death. When her father entrusted me with her sword, the Wado Ichimonji, my hands trembled. It was the first time I truly understood the bitterness of loss and the fury that comes with it.
俺はあいつの分も強くなるから。天国まで俺の名が届くように強くなるから。世界一強い剣豪になるからさ。
That promise became my reason for living. I began to train like a man possessed, swinging my swords every day until my hands bled. The villagers all said I had lost my mind, but I knew this was the only way to chase a shadow I could never meet again. Standing before Kuina's grave, I swore to the heavens that a swordsman's life meant living for another's dream as well. To fulfill this vow, Master Koshiro told me that if I truly wished to catch up to Hawkeye, I couldn't be content with the title of the strongest in the East Blue. I had to set sail and see the wider world. And so at the age of 19, I set out to sea in search of stronger opponents. My journey began with countless adventures in the East Blue, until the day I met a fool in a straw hat. He stood before me, grinned, and invited me to join his crew.
一緒に海賊になる仲間を探してるんだ。
断る。
でも俺はお前を仲間にするって決めた。
勝手に決めんな。
His name was Luffy. At first, I dismissed him as just another small-time pirate, but his words and actions gave me pause. He told me he was going to become the king of the pirates. Looking into his unwavering, resolute eyes, it seemed as if his ascension to the throne was not a matter of if, but when. In that instant, I knew my duty was to protect him on this ship with my blades. The initial excitement of setting sail was quickly crushed by a harsh reality. At the ocean-faring restaurant, the Barati, I came face to face with Hawkeye Mihawk. It was the first time I had been so utterly and completely defeated by another swordsman. Facing him, I was forced to understand the meaning of true power. That man, with nothing more than a small dagger, effortlessly stopped every one of my most powerful attacks. His words cut deeper than any blade. As I opened my arms to accept his final slash, fresh blood stained my chest. A scar on the back is a swordsman's shame. Though it was a devastating defeat, not once did the thought of retreat cross my mind. Because my swords were not just for myself, but for the promise I made long ago. After entering the Grand Line, we faced one formidable enemy after another. In Alabasta, during my battle against Mr. One of Baroque Works, my blade finally cut through steel. To feel the breath of all things, that state of being brought me to the threshold of a master swordsman. But what left an even deeper impression on me were the tears of Princess Vivi. It turned out some battles aren't fought for victory, but to protect those who are precious to you. The battle at Aeneas Lobby changed me completely. To save Robin, we didn't hesitate to declare war on the entire world government. When I faced Kaku of CP9, I unleashed the 9-sword style, Asura. He who is willing to discard nothing can change nothing. After that fight, I was no longer just a swordsman pursuing strength, but a warrior ready to lay down his life for his crew. The ordeal on Thriller Bark is something I will never forget. Luffy's battle with Gecko Moria had pushed him to his absolute limit. When Kuma appeared, I knew what I had to do. Take all of Luffy's pain and give it to me. That wasn't a statement of arrogance. It was the resolve of a vice captain. When Sanji found me, I was standing in a pool of my own blood. Our crushing defeat at the Sabayoti Archipelago is a pain that will last forever. Watching my crewmates vanish one by one, blown away by Kuma, while I stood there helpless. That powerlessness hurt more than any wound ever could. I knelt before Hawkeye, begging him to teach me the way of the sword. My pride? I threw that away long ago. For my captain, those 2 years of training were a living hell, each day a struggle. But the thought of my comrades made every hardship worthwhile. Our battle on Fishman Island showed me just how terrifying the New World could be. Facing Hody Jones, even though we won, we were forced to recognize our own weaknesses. The events on Punk Hazard further drove home the point that on this sea, power isn't everything. Dressrosa marked another breakthrough in my swordsmanship. In my fight against Pika, I grasped a level beyond simply cutting steel. My 3,000 Great Thousand Worlds technique not only shattered a colossal stone giant, but also shattered my own uncertainties about strength. I realized that true strength isn't about what you can cut, but what you fight for. Protection, a promise. The answer had been in my heart all along. And when I heard about Luffy raising hell on Whole Cake Island for Sanji, I became even more certain that this whimsical captain of mine was worth betting my life on. Wano country was the turning point of my life. Here, I not only learned Ryuo, but also awakened my conqueror's haki in the heat of battle against King. As the sword Enma drained my haki, the feeling of being on the brink of death was, paradoxically, exhilarating. The title King of Hell isn't just for show. Every brush with death only makes me stronger. Now, I am just one step away from the title of world's greatest swordsman, but I know the meaning of that title has changed. It's no longer just about fulfilling my promise to Kuina. It's about proving that the Pirate King's right-hand man is worthy of standing by his side. After every battle, I meticulously clean my 3 swords. Wado Ichimonji carries my oath. Sandai Kitetsu represents my conviction, and Enma symbolizes my power. Atop the Onigashima Skull Dome, when I declared, "If I back down now, what will become of all the vows and promises I've held so dear?" It was as if I could hear Kuina's voice saying, "You've finally grown up." Yes, from a stubborn, moss-headed kid to a swordsman who can bear any burden, this journey has been filled with loss, failure, and pain. But I have never once felt regret. On the day Luffy becomes the king of the pirates, I will be standing right beside him, ensuring the name Roronoa Zoro echoes throughout the world. And until that day comes, anyone who wishes to harm my crew will have to go through these 3 swords first.